Curran, welcome.
Thanks, Michael.
Mate, I've got to say I'm a massive Adamstown Rosebud man. I grew up, my grandparents, my parents, my brother played for the club. I played lower grades, juniors. So this is a real honour to have you on. But you don't do too many interviews, do you? You haven't done many interviews over the years, have you?
No, I haven't really. I was a type of person that I'd like to stay in the background. And the captains took notice of that and done all the talking. And when we were on trips away and that, I just stayed in the background. I wasn't one for talking, I just didn't bother.
Even after your career finished with the KB United years, you weren't involved with any clubs after you finished?
No, I wasn't. I put my whole life into playing football, and it took a lot out of me. By the time I reached 33, by the time I retired, and I just didn't have the urge to go on further.
Yeah, it's similar to when I interviewed Mark Viduka. I asked him the same question, and he actually said, he goes, "You know what? I've served my country. I've done my time. I don't think I need to give anything back."
No, that's sort of. I'm no Mark Viduka, but I sort of go along with his thoughts. It's very tiring in the mind, not the body, but I agree totally with him.
Yeah, even just when World Cups come around, especially now, the Socceroos continually make the World Cup finals. All the eyes go on the ex-players, but you always actually probably see more interviews with Ray Bartz than yourself, don't you?
Yeah, because me and Ray are good friends, and I've always said to him, Ray, if there's any talking to do, you can do it, because he's good at things like that, and I think he likes to do it.
Yeah.
And I just don't know what to say half the time.
But you actually played in all three games. I mean, obviously he was injured before in the qualifiers, was over there with you, but you actually played in the three games. It's almost like if I was going to get someone, I'd probably get you. No, all respect to Ray.
Yeah. Well, as I said, I stayed in the background, and there was a few players in the squad that liked the limelight and like Adrian Austin. He liked to talk and liked to carry on, and he was a good player and a good bloke. And I just thought, well, leave everything to him. I never got asked anyway.
Yeah. Do you watch much football? Because I remember watching an interview you did back in 2017. I think it was with Ray, and you said you actually watch other codes more other codes more at the time.
Yes, I do. I watch all codes. I'm interested in all codes, and I would have liked to try and rugby league out because of my kicking ability.
Yeah.
But now I see it's all about kicking rugby league, but I think I was glad I stuck to soccer, because I couldn't stand the hits they got, and they keep getting it week after week.
Well, who would you have played for if you decided to give rugby league a run?
Oh, I don't know. I had a mate that played for West Leagues Club up here, Alan Dagwell, and he played 13 seasons with the Western Suburbs.
Absolute legend, yeah.
He's a good mate. He played soccer with me at under 13s. Then he went to rugby league, but I would have liked to have a go with Western Suburbs. I think, other than the tackling, I wouldn't have bothered.
Well, you were like a nuggety fella, weren't you? So you probably would have been a good little, like a lock forward or something like that.
Yeah, well, I give as much as I got. People probably call me dirty, but sometimes but I never got any free kicks against me. I always won the ball, and I was sort of renowned for my tackling ability.
Actually, you're staying on Alan Dagwell. I think his son Ryan, he was a good footballer as well, played for West, but a good story where when Super League was getting up and going in, I think 1997, I think Cronulla Sharks signed him because they didn't want him to sign for the ARL back then, and I don't think he ever actually played a game for Cronulla, but he signed a contract and picked up a nice little pay packet.
Well, that's that's how you use your brains, I suppose. Back in those days, and yeah, it'd be good to get some money and not have to pay for it.
I mean, the game today? Do you like it, or do you think back to the good old days when you were playing? What's your thoughts on the actual game of football these days?
Well, it's got more skillful. I think the old days was it was really hard, really tough for the players. But now it's end to end. That's what I like about it. It's you never know who's going to win, and like the game last night with Queensland, I thought Queensland wouldn't win, and then they come back and blitz New South Wales.
Come on. Ray Bartz.
John Warren.
Noddy.
Jim Mills-Howard.
Jimmy Fraser.
Manfred Schaefer.
Doug with Yosemite.
Jim Mackay.
Jimmy Rooney.
Cole Curran.
Every 4 years when the World Cup comes around, do you get a special feeling? You know, do you reminisce a bit?
Oh, certainly, Michael. I can remember every game, even now, 50 years later. I can still remember every game and the how good the players were that we played against, and to keep them to a reasonable result. That in my book, they were geniuses at football. It was just brilliant to watch them.
There's a little bit of vision there.
Everybody forgets.
There's Jimmy Mackay scoring in Hong Kong.
Trying to compete in.
I mean, Manfred Schaefer. I mean, back then, I mean, I suppose you were trailblazers, weren't you? Did you realise that at the time that you were?
No, not really. We just wanted to do best for our country, and every player that played the game, and even the players that didn't play, were good enough as the players that did play. So he had a good side and the strength right through the squad.
The Socceroos at the time, you know, Rally Razic, he said that you were the best player at the World Cup.
Oh, he didn't tell me that, but he was a funny coach. He was a good coach, and he kept you on your toes, because if your form was lacking, he'd say to you, come up and have a quiet word and just say, Harry's just waiting to come in and take your place. So that's all he'd say. So I'd have to pick my game up again.
When in regards to man management, you know, was he one of those blokes who just, if everything was going fine, don't tinker with it?
Yes, he was like that. He never tore strips off anyone.
Yeah.
He was very, very good at the way his manner was towards the players. That's why everyone respected him, because when we went to the World Cup, he had the information on every player that we were playing against. So he was good at his job. He was a real good coach.
We mentioned before about money. I mean, how tough was it? Because again, you know, you're part-time players having to commit so much to campaigns, but still have to earn a crust as well, you know? Oh,
yeah, well, I'm glad you asked that, because I only played 22 games in 11 years. So I played for the Socceroos for 11 years. I played 22 A internationals.
Yeah. I
couldn't go on the tours because of I was paying off a home. I'd had a family to raise, and you'd go away at a loss. So I just had to knock them back. And
so you actually got picked and said I couldn't go.
I got picked for just about every tour.
Wow.
But,
so how many games do you think you would have played had you taken
probably
that up?
80 or 90.
Wow.
Round about that much, same as Peter Wilson or Adrian Olsen. They played up near the 100 mark.
Yeah.
So, as I said, I was always picked, but I just had to refuse to go.
Yeah. What did you do for a living?
Oh, I had a few jobs, but the best job I had for 25 years was working at Gretley Colliery in the coal mines.
Yeah.
and that was. And before that, I worked for Brambles. I was a truck driver.
Yep.
And Hunter District Water Board, Bearing Service Company. I had a few good jobs. I had to juggle them between football and training
Yeah.
and things like that. But the last job I got at the pit, I wouldn't sacrifice my job for going to play football, so
Yeah.
I couldn't go a lot.
A lot of when you look at the course of history, especially in the Hunter, there's a lot of good footballers, especially Western, that were coal miners, and also played on weekends.
Yes, that was in Western. Well, there was a coalfields
West Walls, yeah.
area, Cessnock and Curry, and I can remember as a kid driving up to Cessnock. There was coal mines on either side of the main road before you got into Cessnock, and there's a lot of English and Scottish parents come out here years ago. People come in here years ago, and played the game. I can remember my father said Cessnock had a team with 6 Socceroos in it. Back in the 50s, I think it was.
Yep.
So, and they were a good side. No one could
Yeah.
beat them.
I think was it a fellow by the name of O'Neill played in that team?
Kevin O'Neill,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
And I played against Kevin once, and I watched him play for Prague and Sydney. He was a very good player. He's still alive. He's nearly 100, or
Yeah,
I think
that's
he's
right.
100.
Someone said once he did a shift in the pit, and then finished his shift and drove and played an international a few hours later.
Yes, he would. And I was told that he did have a season with West Walls End, and when he finished work, he'd catch a train to Newcastle from Cessnock,
Yep.
and 2 buses out to West Walls End, and do the same on the way home.
Wow. It's
He was a pretty dedicated player.
just staying on money. If you were playing today, how much would you be worth?
Oh, I don't know. I never had to haggle with money. I took what they offered me, but now I know players are getting phenomenal amounts of money.
Yeah.
$10,000-$20,000 a week.
Yeah,
And some players in England that are getting $1 million a week.
yeah,
And I would have been never got anything like that. But I don't know where all the money comes from. But money don't beat all. It's the game and the love of it that you did it for.
What are your thoughts on the current World Cup side?
I think there's too many teams in it for a start, but there are some good teams in it.
Yeah,
And I was just talking to one of you boys there a while ago that I watched Brazil and Morocco the other day, and I didn't know which. If you didn't know who Brazil was, you couldn't pick them because Morocco outplayed them in the first half.
yeah,
And I think there's a lot of teams that could go through, and I think England could go through now. So they had done well last season, and France, Germany, can't underestimate.
yeah.
So I think it'll be a good World Cup, though.
I think that is also too, you sort of touched on that, is that a minnow country, especially a game of football, you can surprise. Where there's other sports where if there's a good team and an average team, 9 times out of 10 that the better team will win. But in football, it's one of those things where you can play defensive and nick a goal down the other end and make it tough.
Exactly. It's going back 50 years. Brazil was the team that was going to win. They were going to win. They know because they were so skillful. But now other countries are catching up and they're getting top class coaches, and they're catching up to the good sides. And like Australia now, they could be a bit of a dark horse at a great win. If they can pinch a draw or a win off America, they'll go through to the next stage. And I think he's got them going well. They're a young, enthusiastic team, and they play good football.
Just regards to Popovic, he's done a great job to turn it around, and a bit of a ballsy decision to drop the captain, Matt Ryan, on the eve of the first game.
Yes, when I was watching it, I turned over and I seen that kid of Beach in the goals, and I thought, oh, Matt Ryan must be injured.
Yeah.
Must have done an injury at training or something. But as they say, he put the Boyer Beach in first, and I got a bit of a shock myself.
You think they're a good chance of making the next round?
Yes, I think they will. I think America will be a bit of a hard game for them because America's not a bad side. But if, as I said, if they can grab a point off this one, I think they'll go into the next round because it's changed now with so many teams in it.
Yeah, yeah.
You only have to have 3 points to get in the next round.
Well, 48 teams a bit too much?
I think so, yeah. I think 16 wasn't enough when
Yeah.
we were in it.
Yeah.
That's not a lot for the world. Maybe 24 or 30. But
Yeah.
I don't know, I just think this is a bit of a money spinner.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. We've actually got a newspaper clipping of you when you were young. If we can get that, Brady. Got a few of you playing there. There we go. Today's youngsters, parents and coaches often get roastings for starting players too young. This little fellow pictured with his first trophy in 1953. He had to play under 10s to get a game, and he was in under 6s. Do you remember that?
I remember.
Westfall's End?
Westfall's End, I wanted to play football and I had to play under 10s for 3 or 4 years because they had no 8s or under 8s or under 7s. I used to get kicked around a little bit, pushed around, and yes, I can remember that playing with the big boys.
And you remember your first trophy too, don't you?
I do, yes.
Everyone remembers their first trophy.
It was a freezing night too, and someone said I might have to make a speech, and I started crying. I was shy. I was a bit shy.
Did you keep all your trophies?
Yes, I still got them at my in-laws' place.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
You were nicknamed Bunny Curran because you were quick like a rabbit. Were you quick back then?
yes, I was quick. I used to win. Me and another chap used to win all the sprints at school and that. And yeah, I was pretty quick. But what they call me Bunny for is because when I was playing under 10s with the big boys, I used to get kicked over a lot and used to run between their legs and crawl sometimes. That's why.
Well, I was actually going to ask who named you that, so I suppose it's just most of the people there.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, I used to be out on the floor most of the time, crawling between the blokes' legs.
Someone sent me a message saying that, in that when you were that age, you played in goals at first. Was that your first game in goals?
No, I had I went to watch my cousin play. Alan Paget, his name was, and he was playing under 12s, and I was a bit older than 6 then, and they had a game in the wet at Cardiff, and they had no goalkeeper, so they said, "You're it, Bunny. You're in goals." My mother just knitted me a new yellow jumper, and I had to wear that in goals. And I got it all muddy, and then I got a belt when I got home. So I let 7 or 8 goals in.
Oh God, would have been better if you won, wouldn't it? At least.
Yes.
No more yellow, no more colourful tops for you. How long did you grow up in Westfall's End for?
I left West Walsall when I was 11-year-old.
What was it like growing up in Westie?
Brilliant. It broke my heart to leave. There were the days where people left their doors open and windows open, and people looked after all the kids, and if someone was in trouble, the parents would help. And that, back in those days, it was so easy life, and we used to be home by 5 by 2, or if you didn't, you got a belting.
Yeah.
And so it was great, but I ended up coming into Hamilton to live.
Yeah. When you were playing, as a kid, when was the first time you actually thought to yourself, geez, I'd love to play for Australia?
When my father used to take me to Crystal Palace at Wallsend with the overseas teams, and the Australian teams used to play at Crystal Palace, and I was memorised by the way they played, and they played for their country. And I said, I'd love to do that, be able to do that one day. And as life went on, I ended up cracking it.
Doesn't it blow your mind that there was international games played in Wallsend?
Yes, yes. And they used to, they had buses lining up the main street,
Yeah.
going to all different places, because I think Blackpool played out here one week. They had 11,000 in Crystal Palace, and
Yep.
everyone was sitting on the sidelines. All the kids were sitting on the sidelines. There was no room in the stadium.
I remember my dad told me about Sir Stanley Matthews came out and played a game at Crystal Palace, and he was only, and it might have been against the select Northern New South Wales.
Northern New South Wales, yeah.
But he only lasted 1 minute.
Yeah, I was at that game, and he went off after a few minutes. He had a bad ankle at the start
Someone
of
said that
play.
Header Parks stepped on his foot or something,
Yeah,
and he walked off.
that's the story I got too.
Now, from West Wallsend in the 50s to Manchester United, they came to Newcastle in 1967. They played a Northern New South Wales side at the number 1 sports ground. I think we got a video of it.
It's half-time here at the number 1 sports ground in the match between
So
Manchester.
you can throw in the cans, Colin, and have a listen. You go, Brody. You're right.
It's half-time here at the number 1 sports ground in the match between Manchester United and Northern New South Wales. I have with me Tommy Dawson, who's been sitting alongside me during the first half, and Tommy's going to tell you something of how he saw the play go to date. Tommy?
Well, it's been mostly one-way traffic. Manchester United has dominated the play all through. You can commend the Newcastle side so far for its defensive tactics, and I feel that we'll probably come out and see a tired side, I believe, in the second half.
Bobby Charlton and Nobby Stiles are there, and so is George Best, and they're very interesting footballers.
Oh, they're beautiful to watch. But the one that's taken my eye is this youngster Brian Kidd. He has the makings of a player equally as good as Dennis Law. He looks a wonderful prospect to me.
Passes astray there, now Best has it. Oh, and here's a chance, it's a goal! So there it is, it's full time, and Manchester United have won by 3-0.
I tell you what, if Manchester United turned out and saw that mud heap in the middle, what would they say now?
Oh, the way the grounds are now.
What was that like? I mean, that would have been an experience.
It was, yeah, but I was over there 6 months before,
Yeah.
and as I come home and started our competition out here with the Rosebuds, they said the Manchester United was going to tour and play in the number 1 sports ground.
Yeah, and we'll touch on that. It was you went over to trial for Manchester United. There was some type of scholarship, wasn't there, with Adamstown Rosebud? I think Ray Bartz went over, and someone else.
Dougie Johns.
Yes, but you weren't asked. You went over on your own accord, didn't you?
Yes, they started this as a promotion, and they were going to send two players over each year.
Mm.
And they sent Ray and Doug the first year. They said, you'll be first cab off the rank next year.
Yeah.
Anyway, as time went on, it faltered, and they weren't going to send anyone.
Yep.
So I had it set in my mind that I was going. So I decided to check around and for transport and get away over there. And I couldn't go by plane because it was very expensive. So I went by ship, and the ladies' committee at Adamstown helped me with the finances.
Yeah.
6 or 7 ladies that were on the committee helped me pay me fare over. And when I got over there, I sent a dole back to them each, just for appreciation, and they loved it immensely, So
Jeez,
I ended up going over and meeting Matt Busby on the first day I got there.
Yep.
And he said, son, you're welcome here to stay as long as you like. And that was it. But the first time I walked into Old Trafford, I couldn't believe my eyes. It was just like a billiard table with seating all around and standing ground behind the goals. It was just so big. And to go there and see when it was 80, 90,000, it's all changed now, but that's what it was like when I first went there.
I mean, when you got there, I mean, I just staying with this Adamstown program that they had, quite unbelievable when you think about it these days, that there was a local club from Newcastle sending 2 of their best players to Manchester United to have a trial. Like, unheard of. It would never happen these days, so not even with an A-League club, you know?
Yeah, no, it was the furthest thing. There wasn't many Australian players that went over there and could break into the English League. Because the English League was full of Irish, Scottish, Welsh, and Englishmen, you know, so they thought they had their enough players over there to pick from. But now they're picking Australians to pieces, you know, to go overseas and play with their clubs and that. So that's how far it's gone in all these years. That, as I say, the coaches and the players are getting better and better with their skills to match the rest of the world.
Did you get a chance when you were there to train with the first team players?
I trained with the first team players twice to 3 times a week.
Wow.
Then we had our own, the A and B team had our own ground to train at the other 2 or 3 days a week. But I was training with Bobby Charlton, Georgie Best and Dennis Law. And when you trained with them, your game lifted so much because you didn't want to make a mistake. You know, and as I said, I was there with Ray. Ray was there with his mother, and we had a boy from Ireland. And Matt Busby called me in a couple of months after I was there, and he told me I was doing well and keep up the good work. Yeah. And another couple of months he called me in and said, we would like you to sign a contract, 12 months contract. And I was so happy. I went home and told Ray and his mother, and Ray decided he was coming home after being there for 2 years. So I said, well, I'm not staying here by myself or in digs.
Is that?
I often kick myself for not trying it, but that's the way. Anyway, it's I come home and I've done all right here. So,
what was it? Because with Ray going, it was going to be you're going to be on your Pat Malone over there. It was going to be tough.
Entirely. Yeah, and my mother wasn't real well, and the Vietnam War was raging, and I only turned 16 when I got there, and I was still a kid, so I didn't know what was going on. So I was homesick, and I couldn't stand the cold weather. Yeah, it's a lot to put up with, but anyway, that's the way it was.
Just staying on the training against the first team players, did George Best run down your flank too much? Did you have to mark him up or?
Yes, especially that game in there. I had him in the corner flag. Had him, he couldn't go nowhere, so we just flicked the ball up and kicked it over my head into the penalty box, and he was one of the best players I've ever seen.
Just with that game at the number 1 sports ground, because you'd just been there recently before that, did Matt come up to you and say you want to reconsider, or?
No. They have enough players, because as being there playing in the A and B sides, they're the 2 junior sides. They've got players from all walks of life, and which you've got to really push yourself at training to impress the coaches. Otherwise, they're pretty thorough in letting you go if you don't aim up.
I mean, that game there, you didn't swap shirts, did you, with the players?
No, we weren't allowed. That was the Ampol Cup shirts they used for pre-season, the Ampol Cup.
Well,
although, excuse me, we got a strip. Adamstown got a strip.
Yes.
A full strip from Manchester.
Because when Manchester United came out for that tour and stayed in Newcastle, Adamstown billeted the players for a couple of nights, I was told, and that was they gave Adamstown the full strip, shorts, shirts and socks in appreciation to Adamstown. I think they had a night at the club as well.
Yes.
That would have been one hell of a night.
Yes, it was. Yes, they done it. The Rosebud's done a lot for Adamstown, done a lot for Manchester while they were here, and that was a token appreciation of give them a full strip, the Manchester United strip.
Well, there's one of the shirts.
That's the shirts. Yeah.
And it's funny because that strip's gone missing. No one can find it. And I was actually, funnily enough, I was at a Rosebud game a few weeks ago, and someone overheard me talking about it, and this person tapped me on the shoulder and said, "I've got one of those shirts," and I said, "Get out!" He actually picked it up on his phone, and he had this shirt, and I actually said to him, I said, "How much do you want for it?" And he said, "It's not for sale." I said, "It should be in glass anyway." He goes, "It's sitting in my garage." It's like it's so.
Yeah. Well, we played the grand final in the Manchester United strip.
Well, that's what I was
year.
about to say. I'll lead to that because it's like this is a story that sort of doesn't get told, and I don't know. It's sort of like folklore. I mean, even the people at Adamstown probably wouldn't even know this. But so Manchester United, in appreciation, gives Adamstown the whole strip. The very next year, 1968, where you were playing for Adamstown Rosebud, you guys make the grand final against Lake Macquarie. Both teams were playing in white that year, predominantly white.
Yes.
So obviously someone had to wear an alternate strip, and Adamstown Rosebud wore the Manchester United strip in the 1968 grand final and beat Lake Macquarie 4-2.
And we played in the Manchester United strip. And after we handed it in, I never heard any more about it. I don't know where it went. Someone's got it.
Well, the other team have been going, "Come on, Bunny, swap shirts."
No,
It's amazing how the whole strip vanished. I suppose there's somewhere in the it's somewhere in the there'd be a few somewhere in the garages and attics and
exactly.
places like
Yes.
that. And that's another thing too. I mean, so much stuff has gone missing. And even just staying with Adamstown, in 1984, the Newcastle Rosebud United won the NSL Cup.
Yes.
That knockout cup. That's gone missing. And it was funny. I did a little project where I was doing a little documentary on what happened to the cup. Try and find the cup. And we even went into the new Rosebuds Club, which is now the Newcastle Sports Club. We went up into the roof. Someone said there's a special room in the roof, and there was. And I'm thinking, I hit the jackpot here. I opened the door. There was nothing there. Went under underneath where the under the floorboards.
Yes.
It just could not find this cup. But the amazing thing about it, when I put this out, all these other clubs like Brisbane Lions, Brisbane City, Adelaide City all contacted me and said, "If you find Rosebud's cup, can you find ours? Because all of our NSL cups have gone missing as well." But you find that sad that
Yeah.
It's
a shame because a few years ago I was in the new club, and there was a photograph. There was a few team photographs of the old days, and a photograph of myself and Jimmy Dorman when we got picked to represent Northern New South Wales and New Zealand, and that's gone too. 'Cause I had a look in there today. And
it's gone
before you picked me up. That's gone, and there's only a couple of. There's a football and a couple of things there.
Well, it was sort of like there was also a leather football, and I think it was 1925, the Gardner Cup football, which Rosebuds won that year. That's gone as well. There was a bit of an upheaval. Remember when the club moved from? Well, they sold the club, and they moved, I think, over to the bowling club for a while.
That's
Things
right.
just went missing.
That's probably when the things are gone.
Another 1968 was a great year for you. What else happened that year?
I got married. 68.
There you go. Wow.
Yeah.
What's made this a beautiful marriage?
Oh, probably understanding that what I had to do, and sleepless nights, all the trainings I had to go to Sydney after work, and it was on full time. You know, I'd
Yeah.
finish work at 3 o'clock and I'd drive to Sydney for training. I'd get home at 11 o'clock and go to work next day. And then in the end, I'd only have to go down one night a week. And of course, Adamstown would let me train with them under the supervision of Joe Lanzoni and the coach I had in Sydney. And it all worked out well. So I wasn't going to shift to Sydney again.
Yeah. Did Catherine have to clean your boots?
No. No.
But it's important. She loved the soccer as well?
Oh, yeah, she loves it, yeah. And we've got a grandson that plays now, was playing, he's given it away, and she's heartbroken because we've got nothing to do with Saturday now. He used to make a day of it.
Well, I was going to say too, we're going to talk about the World Cup again a little bit later, but were wives allowed in the 1974 tour?
No, back then the wives weren't allowed anywhere. They'd let them come into the rooms, motel rooms, and spend a bit of time before we were shafted to bed and back to our rooms and all that. No, they weren't allowed.
We're just going to go into an ad, Col. If you're looking for a grape, you love a beer, Col?
Oh, yeah, I could do with a beer.
Well, that six-pack is yours. If you're looking for a great beer, then look no further than the good people at Good Folk Brewing, founded by local brothers John and Phil Elsley. Good Folk is all about bringing people together over quality craft beer brewed right here in the Hunter. So we've got some of Danny's Wedge in front of us here, Tropical Pale Ale on display. It's their best seller, and for good reason, and they've got heaps of others as well. How about getting a mixed dozen for a gift box? Get down to Good Folk Brewing, 80 Beaumont Street, Hamilton, or hop online, pardon the pun, and check out all their stuff. www.goodfolkbrewing.com.au. Everyone deserves the chance to live life their way. At Connectability, they support people with disabilities to build confidence, independence, and real connections in their community. With allied health services and capacity building supports for children and adults, they help people develop the skills they need to grow, learn, and thrive. From daily living and community participation to NDIS support coordination and supported independent living. Connectability is there to help you achieve your goals, dreams, and aspirations. Connectability, supporting people, strengthening communities. At Elk Architecture, we don't just design buildings, we shape the spaces where life happens. From concept to construction, our award-winning architects bring our vision to life with precision, passion, and purpose. Whether it's your dream home or your next big commercial project, trust Elk Architecture to build what matters most. Elk Architecture, designed for life, built for the future. Escape the city and discover the magic of the Hunter Valley with HV Tours. From world-class wineries and craft breweries to gourmet food, cheese, chocolate, gin, and breathtaking views. This is more than a tour, it's an experience. Small groups, relaxed vibes, local guides, and unforgettable memories, all without the stress of driving. Whether it's a romantic getaway, birthday celebration, hens weekend, or just a day out with friends, Hunter Valley Tours delivers the ultimate wine country experience. Book your next escape now at HV Tours and let the good times roll. Now, talking about history, your grandfather, James Curran?
James Curran, yeah.
He was a right winger for the Minmi Rangers, wasn't he?
He was, yes. I think he was the first player to score a hat-trick in the final.
Yes.
Of the championship they played here. And my father was telling me that when he migrated to Australia, he was standing on the station at Glasgow, and he was offered a contract by Celtic. But he had already made arrangements to migrate to Australia, so that was the end of that. But he come out here and he played with my Rangers, and apparently they were a good side. And
Well, you look at that's back in 1886, so it's one of at a time when it was the first games of football in the Hunter.
yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And he was a bloody good player from what I've read. He scored against Granville in the Rangers 3-2 win to win the Ellis Cup, and he was regarded as the greatest scoring winger of all time.
So I believe, yeah. I've heard this from my father and his father, and yes, and I can still remember living at West Wallsend, seeing him every morning I went to school. He's sitting on the veranda, wave to him.
Yeah.
And he had a broken back. He got a broken back in the mines. A slab of timber fell on him and
Wow.
broke his. He was staunched over.
Yeah.
You know, with a big lump sticking out his back. And yeah, the old fella.
I mean, he lived to the ripe old age of 94.
Yes.
And when he passed away, there was a write-up in the Sydney Morning Herald under the headline "Soccer Star Dies."
Oh, right.
I just thought, again, these are things I never knew. That,
I see,
you know,
yeah.
I mean, in regards to Jimmy, did he ever go to watch any of your games when you were a kid?
No, he was. That was more or less confined to the house. You know,
Yeah.
he couldn't walk much and that. You know, and I was only a kid when living at Westy. As I left when I was 11 year old. So he
So
never.
that was the real reason, I suppose. You know, the whole West Wallsend, you growing up in those early years.
Yes.
You also played. You signed for Marconi in 1971. A hernia kept you out for.
Yeah,
Did you
I
play
got.
any games? Did
Pardon?
you play many games for Marconi?
Yes, I played all season. I played with a groin injury,
Right.
and I wouldn't say I was injured because they paid good money, you know, for a win and a draw. And it was only after the season ended, I had to have an operation.
Yep.
The doctor said it was a hernia. It wasn't. It was something else, and they wouldn't pay for me hospital bill. So I said, well, I'm coming back to Newcastle. And after things got mucked around and all that, I ended up a free player.
Yeah.
Because Marconi paid $12,500 back then. It was a lot of money. And I don't think any of them signed the contract between the two clubs. So I come back and I was out injured.
Yeah.
So, and then I got asked to play for Adamstown again. I got my groin fixed and started playing for Adamstown again before I went back to Sydney again.
You weren't named. I think a few years ago they named the Marconi pretty much team of the century. You weren't named in that, were you?
I don't know. I don't think so. I
believe you're not.
I was only there a year.
I know, but still, you still played for them. To me, it's it's funny. A good friend of mine, Bob Catlin, who used to play in goals
goalkeeper, yeah.
for Marconi, and he played for Apia and a few other clubs as well, but and the Breakers. But he was filthy when it came out because he said I played 8 years for Marconi. We won 4 championships. We did this, we did that. And they picked bloody Mark Schwarzer. He played 1 season for Marconi.
Yeah. Yes.
Politics, Bob.
Politics, yeah.
Sydney life wasn't for you, wasn't it? Was it?
No. So after the World Tour, I went down to Sydney to Les Scheinflow got me to come down to Marconi, and we stayed there for 12 months, as I said, and I come home. I just couldn't settle down there.
Yeah.
Living down there, I didn't like it.
You had a couple of years back in Sydney, though, with Western Suburbs. Was that
Western Suburbs?
Was that commuting as well, or?
Yeah, that's when I had the agreement with the coach.
Yeah.
To come down one or 2 nights a week, and I train another couple of nights up here.
Yep.
He was all right with that. So that's when I went to Western. That was one of the best clubs I've been to.
Yeah. Yeah, and you also came back to Adamstown. This is like 3 stints at Adamstown.
Yeah, yes.
Yeah, was it like a safe haven for you? Was it?
It was, yeah. Yeah. Could always come back home because I loved Adamstown when I was playing, and when I started there, I was always first there and last to leave because we had so much fun at training. It was great, and the team spirit and the camaraderie we had was. Even today, we see a lot of the boys, and it's talk about old times.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, the thing is too is that when you came back to Newcastle to play, I mean, these days that to play local comp would be career suicide when it comes to things like that. But I suppose was it the standing that your standing, or was it the fact that they knew you were playing for a club that had a good quality?
Oh yeah, I didn't care who I played with really, but I just liked playing.
Yeah.
And I was so pleased that they asked me to come back and like halfway through a season or something to fit in with their squad, their team, and that was so good.
That 1976 side, Rosebud side, was a pretty good one. Jason Kowski. I think we've got a black and white picture of that. There it is there. Yeah, Jason Kowski. I think Peter Stone debuted that year, both going on to play for the Socceroos. Look, Trevor Smythe at the back. Geez, Scott, he was a tall bit of timber.
Trevor's in a home at the moment.
Yeah,
I went and seen him the other day, and yes, and Joe, Nezzy,
Warwick Alexander.
Warwick, yeah, Johnny Clinton there, Lago, Jackie Harrison.
Yeah, Lagerstrom, I was always told that he was Joey Sinkowski's minder on the field.
Oh, I don't know. He was everybody's minder that played with him. And the opposition's too scared to go near Kevin or hurt anyone else.
I think you won the grand final that year as well. So, good times at the Rosebuds. Also another fellow by the name of Bobby Cameron.
Bobby had a lot of influence on my career.
Yeah. Why was that?
He was a full-time professional that played with Leeds United.
Mm-hmm.
He played with the great Don Revie.
Yep.
And you could tell that he'd been a good player. He was still a good player when he was out here.
Yeah.
But he took me aside a lot and helped me with my way. And I appreciate it because he was such a nice man to go with it. You know.
And also too, I mean, you mentioned Don Revie. He went on to obviously manage Leeds United to Championship glory. He also ended up becoming later on the England manager. Did you, when Bobby came out, did you realise, wow, this guy's quality? And you probably thought to yourself, what's he doing here?
Well, he told me he was supposed to go to the South Coast with Jimmy Kelly. Jimmy Kelly went to the South Coast.
Yeah.
And he's played for Blackpool. Played with Tommy Garrett.
Yep.
And they were supposed to swap, but it got mixed up. So Bobby came up here, and Jimmy Kelly stayed at the South Coast. He had a good career down there with the South Coast too in the State League. Yeah, no, Bobby was a fine player, very fine player.
Yeah. So there's Bobby Cameron there. Looks like he had a good technique.
Yes.
I mean, when a player like that comes to a player, because he played for Rosebuds as well for a while.
Yeah, he played a couple of years, a couple of seasons. Yeah.
I mean, when you play with someone like that's been at the top, it just rubs off.
Yes, you look up to him and you seem to know what he's going to do, and he's just a fine teacher.
Yeah.
Of the game. You know, he was a good player, good coach. Good man.
And I know we touched on him before, Rally Razic. Incredible man who would have also had a massive impact on your career as well.
Yeah, because Rally was a no-nonsense man.
Yeah.
You had to do what he said, otherwise you wouldn't be playing again. And no, he had a big impact. As I said before, he was... He never bawled anyone out or anything like that. He'd tell them in a nice way if they weren't up to scratch or anything like that, you know.
He wasn't that much older than the players, though, was he?
No.
He was 34 years old when he became the Socceroo coach.
He come out here as a orphan from Yugoslavia, where they do the diving off the bridge over Yugoslavia so often. Yep. My wife's been there. And he got a university degree and all before he took the job up as coach in Australia. He's very clever man.
I mean, was that being sort of age-wise close to the players? Was that probably a help because in modern day, someone so young would probably wouldn't get that respect, would they?
No, he got the respect. He got the respect. I don't know how he did it. He just did it with his techniques and coaching ability because he was very cluey.
Yep.
Well, that's who might have got that Manchester United strip because he took everything else we had, every trinkets we got, he's got. So he took the lot. He might have the Manchester one. We used to pay him off about that. Where's all the trinkets gone and that he got from other countries?
Well, a lot has been said about the 1974 World Cup finals, but you touched on it a little bit earlier. The World Tour in 1970, that set the foundations, didn't it, for that 4 years? 15 matches in 6 weeks.
Yeah, that's when Raleigh became coach, wasn't
Yeah.
it? The 1970, and he picked a team of young players to hope they'll be there for 1974.
Mm.
And yes, he.
I think you're playing Greece in Athens. Is
Yeah,
on the field there,
played Greece in that first international. Yeah,
and you beat them. I think
beat them 3-1 in Greece.
that wouldn't have went down well.
No, well, the goalkeeper said, the Greek goalkeeper said, with all the newspaper clippings when we got over there, if Australia beat us, I'll go and live in a cave for a week. So I don't know
you
if
never
he
saw
did.
him since.
No, but that was a phenomenal game.
Wow. Do you remember much about when you
Yeah,
think
I
back?
remember.
Do you remember that when you're looking at that? Was it like yesterday?
Yes, yeah, absolutely. It was a great big crowd. It was all against you.
Yeah.
You know, it's just so overwhelming. But the pride the players have got, you know, was just fought for each other that day, and it was a great result.
Yeah.
Great result.
I mean, you also beat Israel in Tel Aviv. You played in the in Mexico at the Aztec Stadium.
Yeah,
that would have been
that was incredible stadium, absolutely incredible. And they're playing a couple of games down there this World Cup as well.
Yeah.
It's you can't see the stadium when you're walking towards it. It's sort of underground, 100 metres under the land level.
Yep.
And every team that plays there has to have oxygen after the game
Yeah.
because of the high
The
altitude.
altitude. Yeah.
And we never had oxygen, and they couldn't understand why we didn't want oxygen. But you couldn't run 10-yard
Yeah.
sprints.
Yeah.
It's so funny playing in that type of climate.
Just in regards to Raleigh used to stand up to authorities as well, didn't he? He was one of those people, coaches that sort of stood up for the players against Soccer Australia. Was there a time when the World Cup was, the players were picked, he had to cull some players, and he turned around and said no.
Yeah, I remember that till the day we had so many players, and when we got to the qualified and got to the World Cup, we were in the hotel at Wahroonga before we went to play Iran, I think. And Sir Arthur George told him to cull them players, cull 4 players.
Yeah.
So he went to the Arthur George and said that we won't be going to the game today. So Sir Arthur George said, well, all of you get your gear and get out, never come back again. So he drove out the motel in his Rolls Royce. In 5 minutes he come back, and Raleigh, as I said, told him where he stood, and he come back and okayed it. So he stuck up for the play. He stuck up for his players.
When you played in that tour, you mentioned earlier that you knocked back a lot of tours and trips because of work and family, all that sort of stuff. After being on that for 6 weeks, did you come back and you like, was it hard to knock back trips after having an experience like that?
Yeah, still was. I wasn't going to the World Cup. I had a groin injury, and I pulled out of the squad a couple of years before because of work
Yeah.
commitments and this,
Yep.
that, and the other injuries and that. Because Bobby Hogg took my place, and he broke his leg 18 months before the World Cup. Before the qualifications and all that. So
Yeah.
Rally got in touch with me and asked me to come back, and that's what I did. I come back, and luckily I was working for the water board when the World Cup was on,
Yeah.
so I could get time off then. But after I left the water board and go to other jobs in the mines, I couldn't get time off.
Yeah.
I wouldn't sacrifice because I was getting good wages.
Well, Rally, I mean, after that world tour, you were out of favour the following year after playing the English FA. Did he drop you?
Yeah, that's where I had my groin. I was
Right.
playing injured.
Right.
They played played the FA twice,
Yeah.
and once in Sydney and once in Melbourne, and that's when I pulled out, or was dropped, or whatever. I can't remember what happened now.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's when I come back to Rosebuds, but I'll come back to Newcastle, and I ended up trying to fix myself with all these injuries, and I ended up, 14 months out the game or something like that
Yeah.
before I went back, got better.
Was that your worst injury?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was the worst injury. I even went to the physiotherapist, and he couldn't get over how black me legs were down in me groin, and
Yeah.
it was just bruising everywhere.
I was going to say back then too, you would have been playing on some pretty hard grounds.
Yeah.
What would be the worst ground you'd played on?
Oh, back overseas in Iran, and grounds was like playing on just the dirt patches and that.
Yeah.
Roads were awful. Grounds were shocking
Yeah.
back then. Now they all got cushion grounds to play on now.
Yeah.
Beautiful grounds. Yeah.
So you're always wearing moulded studs most of the time over there?
Yeah, always. I'd never wear the others.
And just staying with that sort of genre, what would be the most hostile crowd? And it doesn't have to be internationals, it could be club games. What was a really hard game to play in front of?
It was when I played for Marconi, it was against Ugal.
Right.
The Yugoslavs,
Yep.
or there was Yugoslavs
Yeah,
back then. They just stormed the field, and supporters just stormed the field, got the flags and the corner posts off because they had spikes in them, and then they had to get the police. Police came and stopped it all. It was just a big riot, and
Wow.
they were just bashing players and referees and
So they're pulling out the spikes that was holding the net,
using it. No, the corner flags.
the corner flags.
Yeah.
Wow.
And
Geez,
one bloke took the flag off the referee, the linesman, and started hitting him over there. With it.
It actually just reminds me of that. Remember the riot at Pratton Park? I think it was Sydney City and Sydney
yeah.
Olympic. And I remember someone taking the flag out and chasing
Yeah.
Tony Bazzano around the ground. It's just, and people worry about flares these days. You played your first year of NSL in 1977. That was for Western Suburbs. You mentioned it was a great club to
Yeah, I had
be
a
around.
couple of years with Western Suburbs.
I think we got a picture of that too.
Yeah. And then KB was starting up,
Yeah.
and I got approached or made it felt that I'd like to come back,
Yeah.
and they didn't have to pay anything for me either, so
Yeah.
there was no transfer fee. I don't know how I got out of that, but
Well, just staying with Western Suburbs, how did you get there? Who lured you there?
Mike Lang was the coach. He come up to my house when I was living at Macquarie Hills and
Yeah.
asked me, was I interested in coming down and play with him? and I told him the conditions, and he said, we'll work on it. So we were leading that. The first year we were leading all the way to the last 3 or 4 games, and we never got in the semis. We had Peter Wilson playing with us.
Well, it's just about to say Peter Wilson. He's got a. I think that's the next year he is there. He's got a unique story, hasn't he?
Yeah.
When was the last time you spoke to Peter Wilson?
Well, my son's 50, just turned 50, and we're out at Orange with the national titles. It was when my son was 15, so
Wow.
he just rode his motorbike up to. I was sitting in a pub with a couple of blokes, and he just called into this pub with all his bikie mates, and he seen me, walked straight up and started talking. I got on all right with him, but he's been in a what do you say?
Well, he's been a recluse.
A recluse, yeah.
I mean, he's been a recluse for many years. He doesn't go to World Cup reunions,
he hasn't
functions,
been to any.
And he was the captain of the 1974
Yeah.
World Cup finals. Do you know what actually happened?
Yes, I think he got gypped by Apia. He went to Apia to play,
That's right.
and they never honoured his contract or something, and so he was just pulled away from the.
But do you think that would have been enough to pull away from football altogether? Because again, you guys have been celebrated for many years, and it just seems that it's strange what actually happened. It must have been some sort of riff.
Well, I don't know. All I heard was he was had problems with Apia Leichhardt honouring the contract, but it could be more. Could be more to that. And I know Jimmy Fraser often talked to him.
Yeah.
And
well, I've got to say, I've been wanting to do an interview with him for years, and I've just told that there's just no chance. There's a fellow by the name Andre Kruger, who's the German Socceroo super fan, who's sort of like he's in contact with him all the time, but he's sort of like the gatekeeper. So I've sent Andre a message saying, hey, I'd love to do this story, because I said, look, I tracked down Mark Viduka and, showed him what I did, and sort of said, look, I just want to do a nice story on him. And he's like, and it was sort of like, many have come, but no one has been chosen. It was almost like, and he goes, and he's been offered big money to do stuff, and he still doesn't want to do it.
No, he's like that.
Yeah.
He's that type of bloke. He's stubborn. Andre, yes, Andre's our best supporter.
Yeah. But what was he like? I mean, obviously now he's a recluse, but what was he like on the field? He seems like a real man that you wanted to play with.
He was good to play with.
Another pick too, I think.
Very good to play with. He was your eyes and ears. The western suburbs.
There he is.
Very good.
Shaking hands with the Kaiser.
Yes.
I mean, with that, I mean, did you think he'll? I mean, was he a bikie? Did he become a bikie?
Yes, he became a bikie.
An outlaw bikie?
Yeah. He cleaned half a dozen blokes up one night in the McDonald's restaurant in Wollongong. He could handle. He's a pretty big bloke. He could handle himself.
And because when he came out to Australia, I think he got let go by Middlesbrough in England.
Yeah,
and
he's a
came
Geordie.
out.
Yeah.
And I tell you what, I mean, and this is another fallacy. Sort of, even growing up, I grew up listening to Johnny Warren, Captain Socceroo.
Yeah.
And for all those years, I assumed that Johnny Warren was the captain of the Socceroos in 1974. And plus the fact that Wilson had become reclusive, most people probably would have thought that as well.
Yeah. Yes. Before the World Cup, Johnny got injured, as you know. I think he was out for 14 months.
That's right.
And I know there was some controversy over Raleigh Master. I don't think Johnny was really happy. Raleigh made Peter Wilson captain.
Right.
Under Johnny's nose, I think.
Yeah.
And Johnny wasn't very happy with Raleigh. That's what I hear. I don't get into other people's problems, but I think that's what it was. He didn't think Johnny would make the 3 games.
Yeah.
So he chose Peter as the captain.
Why would he have chosen Peter Wilson? Just
Well-
his standing? You know, he's
Yes, well, I'd say he did make a good captain, but there was other bloke, Ray Richards, could have made captain. Manfred Schaefer.
yeah.
But yeah, so
Um,
Peter's. If he knows people, he'll talk to them. If I'm running the street again,
yeah.
he'll say talk to you, you know. But
I think Adrian Alston still
Adrian, yeah.
keeps in contact with him
Yeah.
because he lives down, I think, in the Illawarra area.
Yeah.
But this was the thing too. When he was playing for Western Suburbs in the NSL, he used to travel when he was living in the Illawarra district. He'd travel something like 257 kilometres one way 4 times a week.
yeah, yes, they did. Him and Adrian used to come up and play. Well, Adrian playing for St George too, but they used to do a lot of travelling. They travel up from Wollongong to training 4 nights a week. And no, they did that.
Yeah.
Maybe it was when they were playing with the South Coast. Well, they had another a club down there. It was a Safeway or something. They made a club instead
Yeah.
of South Coast.
Yep. Yep.
And they all worked as car salesmen. And this car yard propped the club up.
Right.
Didn't last long.
Yeah.
Didn't last long.
I mean, just sticking with Johnny Warren, what sort of a player was he like to play with?
Oh, he was brilliant. In every capacity. Johnny was such a good man. He loved people from Newcastle, and he knew his history, football
Yeah.
history, and Wollongong. And I got on. I roomed with him a couple of times in Iran, and on one away trip. He was always reading, getting knowledge of everything, you know. And
Yeah.
he's very quiet, but he was friendly. He was friendly, you know. He was a wonderful man.
Did you always know that he was going to go on as a football pundit?
No, I didn't know that. And I thought he'd done a wonderful job. I thought, if he knows just about everything about football.
Yeah.
He was so good at it, you know.
I mean, playing with him would have been great. Playing against him wouldn't have been so great. How many times would you have had to come up against him, though?
Oh, quite a few. He was all on. He was tough. He was hard. He could play. He don't get enough recognition
Yeah,
in today's life, you know, in today's day.
yeah. I just want to go back to a couple of picks back, a couple of those. Here we go. So I didn't know this, that you played junior representative football for Canterbury. How did that come about?
Yes, well, when I was 13, my father got a job as a greenkeeper at Liverpool. And in those days, the job come with house supplied and things like that.
Yeah.
So, and we decided to move to Liverpool. They never played soccer out there in that area. So I had a mate that played with Canterbury Marrieville, and he said, come over and have a game with us. So I went over and had a trial, and I got in the squad, and we had a successful year. We won the national titles in all over Sydney. I forget what they call it, something like national titles, with Hornsby, Wollongong,
Yeah.
Bankstown.
I think you beat Illawarra in the final of this. I think it says 6-5.
We beat.
That wasn't penalties, was it?
No, it was all goals. There was no penalties. Dennis, I scored 2 that day, and Dennis Jager scored 4. He was the best junior I've ever seen in my life.
Wow.
He was such ahead of himself as a player. And he went on to play a couple of years. They won the comp at Everton. He played reserve grade for Everton.
Yeah.
And yes, he was the best junior I've ever seen.
Was there many players growing up that you sort of look at and went, if that person went on, like, or maybe there different circumstances they didn't, that person would have been a world beater? Is there players that you sort of look and go, wow, that person should have, whether it be
Yeah, that's
juniors or
happens all the time. You see players that are brilliant young players,
yeah,
and a year or two time they're not playing.
yeah,
It's uncanny how it happens,
I
but
think it's like Craig Johnson mentions this a bit when he was, growing up at Burrigal High, where there was players at that school, Calburn, McDonald, Bugard, all these players, Tredenics, that were better than him.
yeah,
Yeah,
well they were good juniors,
Yeah.
and somehow they just don't seem to go on. I don't know what it is, but young Brady Calburn, he ended up playing with KB. He had a pretty good career, but
yeah,
he was like above himself as far as the players
Yeah.
go. You think he could have walked straight into a good side in England
yeah, yeah.
at the time, but
Peter
they
Tredenick.
never, Peter Denick, I
Yeah.
played with him, and he was a good little player. They never seemed to get on, to carry on for
Yeah.
some reason.
Yeah, yeah. We've got another picture as well. I think it's Canterbury as well. Here we go. Geez, you're a good-looking bloke down there with the ball between your legs there.
Oh, that's Western Suburbs, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh,
That's
Terry Smith, the top left, so the bloke with the long blonde hair.
Yep.
Ian Moores. He went back and played with Stoke City.
wow.
He had feet about size 17s. And Terry
Where do you,
Smith
where do you
next to him.
find them?
He went back to play with Stoke City, but he died not long after.
Wow. Just Brody, can you just go back to that black and white photo again? I forgot to mention this. The fellow with the coach is right in the middle. The fellow on the left, maybe Jimmy Fraser.
That's Popper, yeah, that's Popper Fraser, the goalkeeper.
You just look at his face and you know it's him, don't you?
He played for Hurlston Park in the league, and we couldn't get a goal past him.
Wow. We're just going to go to another commercial live read, so take a bit of a drink if you want, Cole. Confessions Boutique. Need a spark in the bedroom? If you do, then you need to get down to Confessions Boutique in Charlestown. It's a place where staff are friendly, the top-class products are always available and are fun, and nobody bats an eyelid when you ask, what does this one do? Whether you're shopping for yourself, your partner, or just want to spice up a Secret Santa present, Confessions Boutique has everything from cheeky gifts to luxury bedroom accessories. There's no judgment, just quality service. Confessions Boutique, Shop 1222 Pacific Highway, Charlestown, because life's too short for boring bedtime stories. You like that one, Cole?
Yeah.
What if your home could sell for more without a full renovation? From simple refreshers to complete pre-sale transformations, we help unlock your home's true value. At Mitchell & Beasley, we specialise in property styling and cosmetic upgrades to make your home stand out. Mitchell & Beasley, where presentation meets results. In the world of construction, precision isn't optional, it's essential. For over 35 years, Newcastle Sheet Metal has delivered high-quality ductwork, fabrication and installation on time, every time. From large-scale commercial projects to precision custom work, we don't just meet deadlines, we set the standard. Newcastle Sheet Metal, built on experience, driven by quality.
Here we go. Just stay on Johnny Warren. There's a beautiful picture there, you guys holding hands. You remember that?
Oh, I thought that was Branko Buljevic. No, it's this me. Yeah, that's Johnny. Yeah, I don't know what that was about.
You look like an angry ant that day. KB United days. Ray Bartz. How much time have you spent with Ray? He's still a good mate?
We met when we were probably about 10 or 11 year old in rep football for the school, I think it was, for the schools, and we've been mates ever since, and we often see each other and have a cup of coffee and with a few other blokes, and he's a bit of an unsung hero, Ray. I put him up there with Timmy Cahill and Paducah and Harry Kuehl.
Yeah.
I think he played 40-odd games and he scored a heap of goals for Australia.
Yeah. Do you look back and you sort of how aligned your careers were? I mean, both played for Adamstown, both went on and played for the Socceroos at the same time. KB United, in the end as well, though we didn't play much at the start. But you look how incredible it was. Two close mates went from playing local football all the way.
Yeah, that's right. We started off in school rep teams, and then we went to club football. Like we played juniors at New Lambton South for a few years before we went to, and we both seemed to go in the same direction.
Yeah.
We went to Maitland before we went to Adamstown.
Yeah.
When we were 14, and Ray played every game, first grade, and I played about 8 games with Maitland.
Yeah.
First grade, and then we come down to Adamstown the next year. We seemed to stay together.
Well, I was about to say, you've just mentioned two things I didn't know: New Lambton and also Maitland. I knew you played for Maitland. I forgot that Ray played for Maitland as well. But again, it's just uncanny how you both sort of.
Well, we were mates, see, and mates like to do things together.
Yeah.
And we had other mates as well, but most of them didn't play soccer and that. But we seemed to stay together.
Yeah.
And one day, I never told anyone this, when we were playing for Adamstown, I used to go to the race place frequently, and he'd visit, and he used to come to my place. And this day, he was having a successful year at Rosebuds, and I went up to his house, and I went to knock on the back door, and I heard people talking, and it was a committee man from Harcoa Soccer Club. They wanted Ray to go to Sydney to play with them. And I heard my name come up, and they said, we can't afford the two. And I knew, and I got a bit disappointed, and I went home, but I wasn't disappointed. I was disappointed that he was going to Sydney probably, but I never even told him that. So I'll have to tell, before I die, I'll have to tell him. But I wasn't jealous or anything. I was just happy for him, but I was a bit disappointed because I was itching to get away to Sydney, because you had to go to Sydney to get recognised back then. But no, he's a good bloke. He wouldn't care anyway if I told him.
Well, you can watch this podcast, you can find out now. What you just said.
He'll probably watch it if he knows about it.
He's up at Fingal Bay these days, isn't he?
No, he's sold up there.
Did he?
He's still out at Charlestown.
Oh, is he? Oh, okay.
He's still got the original house he got married in.
Yep.
And he's sold up there. It was getting a bit too much work for him, both places.
Yeah. I mentioned before you mentioned Adamstown again, my grandfather Charlie Cainey, who he was a bit of a larger-than-life figure at Rosebuds in his time. He used to be on the gate, at the front gate, collecting tickets and not allowing players in because they didn't have their player pass. And as soon as I mentioned his name, you just said, I remember him.
Yes, Charlie. He's, I remember him on the gate and everything, and he used to be abrupt. And when after we finished playing, we go and have a beer, and he'd come up and I'm Charlie Cainey, I'm from Sunderland. And he used to start talking about football. He was a funny fella. That everyone respected him and took notice of him. That's what you did those days. You had respect for people. And
but all those clubs had people like Charlie, didn't they?
Yes, they
running
did.
the clubs.
Yeah, they had good volunteers. That's what helped the clubs a lot, you know.
But we're going to get onto the KB United days. But just staying on my grandfather, Charlie Cain, he played a big part in bringing Alan Vest out to Australia. Did you know that?
No, I did not know that.
Because originally Alan Vest was going to come out and coach Adamstown, and something happened where it all fell over, and KB United were forming, and he got the KB United.
Oh, I see, yeah, because I thought he was in New Zealand before he came here.
He was, yeah. But Charlie was. I think Charlie knew him from.
Back in the old country,
days, yeah. So yeah, it was quite incredible. The KB United days, fond days for you?
Terrific days, absolutely wonderful days. It was some of the best days of my life.
Yeah.
With the vocal crowd we had.
Look at that big.
To Amy. Drinkwater once more to Kenny Bowden.
Wearing the yellow strip.
Yeah.
You haven't got a yellow strip still, have you?
Yes, I have.
You do?
Mm.
Wow, that'd be worth something.
I've still got one, the yellow KB strip
Yeah.
downstairs somewhere. And
I've got to say, you were my second favourite player.
oh, well, so I'm up there.
Kenny Bowden was my
Oh,
favourite.
well, you picked a good one there. I'd pick him myself.
He was a handy player too, wasn't he?
Well, I would like Kenny so much because he was good for a goal a game at least,
Yeah.
and winning goals meant winning bonuses. So Kenny was a great player.
He was there.
Yeah, he was a natural.
And it was everyone was filthy when they sold him to Sydney City, didn't they?
Yeah, he only wanted $20 a week more.
Oh, what?
It was a big loss.
You would have took a $20 pay cut to keep him
I
there.
would have too. Yeah.
Just it's amazing how many people used to. They still talk about KB United days, and you talk about the name. You just scored that cracker of a goal. Yeah.
What one was that?
Can we go back to that one? We'll have another look at that.
Wasn't a free kick, was it?
I think it was actually. Woof.
Oh, that's right. Hazy said to me, he said it whizzed past my ear. He said it would have hit my head and would have killed me.
He's a funny man, Graham Hayes, isn't he?
He is
Still
a
living
funny
out at Spears Point.
Spears Point. Yeah.
But I mean, with those days too, I mean, the massive crowds, and with the NSL when it first formed, it was really working, wasn't it?
It was, yeah. The crowds were booming. But there, we averaged 13,500 a game for the year. Mate, in the couple of years I was there.
Yeah. It's funny that those gold strips are so synonymous, you know.
Yeah.
And that was really the away strip, wasn't it? But you played a lot of home games.
They did.
And also too, one thing that comes up is the Cairns bread cards.
Yeah, the cards.
I
Yeah.
think we've got some pictures. Here we go. Geez, that's the old
It's
KB,
Adamstown, yeah.
Just with those, here they are. So you used to get a chart. I remember collecting these.
Yeah.
So there'd be a card at the end of every loaf of bread.
Yeah.
Were you looking out for yours?
No. No,
The good story was that
I think we got some at home, some cards. And
Graham Hayes told me a good story where it was Graham, Jim Preston and David Jones had a job of being at the end of the conveyor belt of this bread that came down.
Yeah.
Because they had nothing to do through the day. So they said, go down and they had to put the cards in the packets.
in the packets.
And what Graham said, he goes, we actually used to take a few of our own cards and send them back to our relatives and stuff like that. So what we did was we inadvertently made our cards rare and hard to collect, so our cards become more valuable.
Yeah.
I think we got your card coming up too. I think there you go.
Yeah. Oh Jesus.
You're pulling off the Tom Selleck look then.
Oh, Jesus.
Also, too, there's a lot of guest appearances at KB United too. A lot of players came out you know, and playing. There's the next pick we've got. Bobby Charlton came out.
Bobby Charlton, yeah. Bobby was 44 when he came out to
Yep.
play.
There he is.
Yeah.
Next
I
to
think
Phil
we won
Dando.
2-1.
It was
Or
against
1-0.
that would be Mark Cainey, because I remember their shirts. They had that,
Yeah.
a sash across the.
It was Marconi
Yeah.
over here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would he have remembered you back then?
Yeah,
Saying,
yeah.
Going, hey, I remember you.
When he got in the bus, well, we all got in the bus first, and he got in the bus, and he wouldn't shake hands, and he come up and say, "How you going, Cole?" I nearly died. What's such a nice man he was.
Yeah.
A great player too.
I think he played for a few clubs. He came out to Australia and did like a bit of a tour playing for different clubs, I think. And
I think he did, yeah.
very similar to George Best, which it was actually a bit sad in the day. I always find it always sad with George Best that he came out doing that, and it was purely for money to
Yeah.
aid his drinking habit. And it was only a few years ago someone said that George Best played for DY. A couple of games for DY, and I sort of go, wow, you know, it's almost like he was just chasing the money, the quick fix.
Well, I struck. We used to go out with him a few times in Manchester. He'd go out, you know. He'd say, "Coming out, boys."
You went out in the town with George Best.
Yeah, a couple of times. He was such a nice bloke. You wouldn't think he was money hungry or anything like that.
Yeah.
He was just your normal average bloke. God, he was friendly.
A night out with George Best, there would have been women everywhere, wouldn't there?
Yes, there was. He'd, all after
you hanging off
George.
him?
All after George. Or after his throw-offs.
You're playing reserve grade to the side of him.
Yeah.
You mentioned 22 times for Australia. You played 34 times. A lot of them were also Australia A appearances and things like that?
Now, what they call a club side's only a B international.
Right.
An A
I get you.
international is a country.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
What was the game that stands out the most for you, playing for Australia? And it doesn't have to be the 74 World Cup finals, really.
No, Hong Kong.
Yeah.
When we qualified.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had the Hong Kong flu, and I wouldn't let anyone know I was sick, and that's the only time I seen Rally go off his brain.
Yeah.
Because we had a doctor that wasn't interested in sport or anything, you know. And we were having dinner one night, and Jimmy Rooney had the flu, and he was up in his room laying down, you know, and Rally come down to the doctor and said, doctor was sitting there eating his soup, and Rally said to the doctor, "Look, Jimmy's sick in his room, he's in room such and such." You go up and think, "Oh, when I finish my soup," and Rally went off his brain. He went out of his tree off. The only time I ever seen him go off.
Wow. But that Hong Kong game, that was massive, wasn't it, at the time? You know, 'cause it wasn't easy. It wasn't an easy qualifying period, was it?
No, because we would have qualified in Korea in this day and age, because away goals count.
Yeah.
We played a 2-2 draw in Korea,
Yeah.
which would have put us through, but you had to play the decider to get a result. Like the goals didn't count then,
Yeah.
the away goals. So lucky enough to score one goal in Hong Kong.
Yeah. We just saw you score a goal for KB, an absolute belter. But I'm sorry to bring this up, but people say you were the first person to score a goal for Australia in the World Cup finals, which was an own goal.
Well, I scored 2 actually. I scored one on the way over to the World Cup in Indonesia,
Yeah.
and then I scored one for them at the World Cup. One for us and one for them.
So this is the own goal. I think it was you. Like,
See,
there's
I
nothing
couldn't-
much you could have done for that.
The post was in my way. I couldn't get me
Yeah.
leg around the post.
Here he goes. Yeah, nothing much he could have done for that. But in saying that, when it comes to own goals, nothing beats your former KB teammate, Roy Drinkwater.
No.
I think we got the next. This one was shown pretty much all over the world. It's an absolute clanger. If we get to it, here we go. Is Roy Drinkwater's effort? I don't know. I think Phil Dando was. I reckon he could have got back to that. I reckon.
Yeah, I'll never forget that either.
Wow. Just staying on Roy Drinkwater, Cole. He's been a bit of a colourful character too. What's happened to him?
Well, the last I heard about Roy, he was in Boggo Road Jail. He was working for a company and he had his car supplied with a job and he sold it. And, got caught, of course, and I got the shock of my life when I heard that. And I heard that he was borrowing money off people and not paying it back.
I heard that he borrowed something like $10,000 from a former KB player and never paid back.
And I heard of another bloke that he's borrowed, Peter Dewhurst.
Yeah.
He borrowed money off him because he had a business.
It's a furniture business.
Furniture and he had a furniture business and a concrete business before that, Peter, I think.
Does that surprise you? Because, I mean, when you think back of the KB United days, you think of Roy Drinkwater, he was sort of like this, a bit like a Peter Wilson, really. Like he was this leader, out there. And I suppose he had a bit of a dark side.
Yeah, we all liked Roy. I liked Roy. I thought he was, he was always asking how you going and give you the time of day and have a yarn to you. And I got the shock of my life when I heard he was in Strife.
Yeah.
I couldn't think he'd ever do things like that.
Yeah, I think he's somewhere. I think he's back in England now, from what I've been told. So.
Right. Yeah, I haven't heard.
We got some random picks that we're going to bring up to say maybe jog your memory. This.
Oh yes, that's the West German shirt of my opponent.
Wow.
And what happened, I had the shirt, I'd never had the signature, and me wife went over to a native country and took one of my sons and went over for a holiday, and my son decided to call in and see my opponent. He plays for Frankfurt, I think. He was well decorated, 400 and something games on Frankfurt, Eintracht Frankfurt.
Yep.
And he met the Jürgen Grabowski, that was his name, and he spent half a day with him at lunch, and he was good enough to do that for my son, and he got it signed while he was there. Now it's hanging on his wall. I don't mind. He wants it, he can sort of have it.
Have you still got your World Cup shirt?
Yes, I've got one hanging on the wall. We had 8.
Yeah.
I donated 2.
Yeah.
And one's on the wall, and I'll give away some for charity.
Yeah. You won't be giving that one away, I don't think. Well, your son won't anyway.
No, I think Ray Richards was offered 80,000 for his.
Wow.
Not that they'll sell it, but it's memorabilia.
Well, I'll tell you what, whoever got the Beckenbauer one would be worth a bit too.
Yeah, Noddy Alston got that.
Oh,
I know who got that one.
You were chasing around, chasing around the field to get it.
He'd made arrangements with him before the game, I think.
It was like Paul Wade when he swapped with Maradona. It was like I think it was half time. Maradona used to wear one shirt in the first half and a different one in the second half. And he always used to give the first half shirt to the player that he thought was the best player on the ground, which was Robbie Slater. And then Paul Wade was like, oh my God, I'd been chasing, I was man marking this guy all game,
Yeah.
busted my ass. And in the end, we ended up giving him his other shirt, but he's like, he
Oh,
felt, my God, you know.
He's delivered out at Swansea there, Paul Wade.
Yeah.
What's that? Before, other side of Swansea there.
Is it Nords Wharf, is it, or something?
Yeah,
So-
that area. That's,
Yeah.
it's called something out there.
Yeah,
Right near there.
Yeah.
Nords Wharf.
another famous
I
Socceroo
ran
captain.
into him, not here, down at Sydney when we had at Raleig's funeral, I think it was.
Yeah,
He says he lives up here.
yeah. Next one. There you go. On the wall at Rosebuds.
Yes, well, my grandkids went to Adamstown Catholic school,
Yep.
and they used to get mine at what do they call it when they go after school and their parents go and get there?
Oh, like a ush.
Yeah, Ush.
Yeah, yeah.
Ush. They went to Ush, and it was down near the Adamstown Primary School,
Yeah.
and they walked past the Rosebuds. And one day I went over to see them. They said, "Pa, your photo's down there." I said, "Down where?" I said, "Down on the wall." Anyway, I didn't know.
You
and
didn't know?
No. And I went down and seen. I thought, "Oh, what a shock!" I said,
Yeah.
"What a nice thing."
I think that there's also Jason Kelsey's next to you, and obviously Ray Bartz,
Ray and Peter Stone.
Peter Stone.
Yeah.
You know what? I'd love to see Graham Jennings on there.
Yeah.
I think, or somewhere.
Yeah.
You know, I think he deserves.
Oh, he does.
A mural
Graham's,
as well.
Graham's a terrific bloke.
Oh, yeah. It's a
I
surprise
remember
they haven't.
he played his first grade when at Adamstown.
Yep.
He played left wing and I was left back. He was nervous as a kid, and he's a.
But he was a winger, wasn't he? And-
Yeah,
and
he
I
was a
think
winger.
was he when he made the Socceroos? I think it was Frank Rock that sort of converted him to be
Yeah,
an
fullback.
overlapping fullback.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, Graham, he deserves to be there.
Yeah. Yep. But next, oh look at this. We're talking about cards. That's the World Cup card.
Oh,
That'd be worth a bit too.
well, funny you say that because it hasn't happened this year, but every World Cup from the last 4 World Cups,
Yep.
I'm getting them cards sent from overseas
Ah, right.
and to asking me to autograph them, send them back.
Yep.
I thought it never happened for years.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
The last 4 World Cups, I've been getting 10 or 12 letters
Hey, you could
from people.
be making a little bit on the side.
Yeah,
here,
I should
Col,
do.
you
Yeah.
know?
No, I don't know. I'm just a poor sap, I suppose. I don't like seeing kids. I don't like to. People say, "Why don't you keep the photos?" I don't want to keep them. Kids are doing that for their hobby, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like this- and they write a nice letter and thanking me.
Oh, beautiful. We got one more. There we go. What was this?
That's David Jack gave me that at Peter Stone's memorial funeral. That's not me.
Isn't it?
I don't think so. I don't remember playing for New South Wales. Northern New South Wales I played for. I don't remember playing.
I thought that was Northern New South Wales.
No, that's the old number 2 sports ground, I think.
Yeah. Tell you what, it's a good likeness if it's not you.
It is. I can see myself there. Then I think, I was never that skinny.
We'll cut that one. Okay, just in little. But that was actually I was given that one saying, "Oh, that's Ray."
Yeah, I don't know. Moscow Dynamo, I think that was against.
Wow. We'll finish it off with look. If you need a trophy or a medal or a plaque or a custom-made award, you'd have plenty of them, Cole, wouldn't you? Like your medals and trophies.
Oh,
and
yeah,
stacks
yeah.
of them.
I've got trophies.
Well, if you want more, you can get down to Purnell Trophies. They've been helping Newcastle celebrate champions, legends, workplace achievements, and sporting superstars for years. 57 years to be exact. Whether it's grand final day glory, school award ceremonies, or even if you want to give a mate a bit of a G up by creating a monument for a cracking triple figures on a golf course, Purnell Trophies have you covered. They can do anything: glassware, engraving, sporting apparel, and they have a quick turnaround, which is perfect. Purnell Trophies, 24 Broadmeadow Road, Broadmeadow. Call them on 49612 666. And on behalf of Purnell Trophies,
Oh, thank you very much, Burnell trophies.
A Socceroo's legend, I think it's got etched on there.
Oh, nice. Oh, that'll go.
That'll sit pride and place. Don't give that one away. Don't
No, I won't be
keep
giving
that
that
one.
away.
And it's also
Purnell's there. They've been there for years.
absolutely 57 years.
57 years.
Yep. I mean that one. Well, that one you had when you were. Oh no, that would have been probably a bit past their time. But you probably had a few Purnell trophies in your time.
Yeah, that one.
And it also comes in handy if you need it for an egg cup. Cole Bunny,
Yeah, good.
Cole Bunny, Curran, thank you for joining us on Incredible Lives with Cainey. You've been brilliant, and I've been wanting to do this interview for many years, and thank you for letting me do it.
It's my pleasure, Michael. Thank you very much.
And go the Socceroos.
And go the Socceroos. Dark horse.